Today I'm flying in a private pod on WestJet from Calgary to Dublin. Is it worth it? How much does it cost? Come with me to find out. Alright, welcome to Calgary International Airport. We actually are connecting through Calgary, so no check-in footage for you. We arrived in Concourse D but have to make our way to Concourse B to check out the WestJet Elevation Lounge. So we may as well take the infamous YYC Link trams. Alberta's love for highways is so intense they decided, why not build a highway inside the airport? This is truly some big brain thinking, but honestly, it worked out. They are efficient if you can't walk longer distances on your own, and it gets rid of the honking golf carts that are much too prevalent at other airports. I love Calgary Airport because it's big but not too big. We got from one side of the airport to the other very quickly. Let's dive into the WestJet Elevation Lounge. This lounge opened at the perfect time to build hype for air travel, 2020. But my god, WestJet did something right with this one. I stepped into a world where the cocktails flow like the mighty rivers of the Babylon, and where a feast appears at your table at your own beck and call, materializing at your table as if conjured by culinary wizards. I thought this was heaven, but no, it's just a place that serves specialty cocktails that make you say, ooh, that's good. So how does this all work? I'll explain as I check out the self-service area. There are 4 main ways to get in the lounge. Number 1, you just fly WestJet a lot. This will earn you status and get you lounge access passes. Number 2, do what I'm doing today, taking a long-haul business class flight on their Dreamliner. Number 3, you can spend a ludicrous amount on a high-end credit card to get you access. I actually also do this. And number 4, you can pay for access. I think it's about 50 to 60 Canadian dollars. Shout out to Frank the coffee making robot, he makes a mean latte. You have a ton of seating options. You can rock up to the bar and try and make small talk with the bartenders. You will find me not doing that. I will be on a big comfy chair away from the social interaction. Later on I scored this highly coveted lounger. Competition for these is fierce! If you need to do business, you are covered with a full-length door and marble in the washroom. And I had to take a video of this unique locking mechanism. If you want to do the other kind of business, you're covered there too. They have meeting spaces and private pods, so you can close those big deals in peace. WestJet just nailed the vibes in here. It's cozy, it's inviting, it's visually interesting. If you have access to this lounge, I strongly recommend getting here early. Let's do a little tally of how much 2 of us ate and drank. So we got a blackened fish taco, an O-Snap cocktail in a tiki mug, a WestJet Elevation cocktail and a veggie samosa to start, plus an iced latte, butternut squash soup and a ratatouille, a Tom Collins, espresso martini, and finally, a chocolate cookie and an apple Betty with vanilla ice cream. Alright, let's check out today's actual menu. I gotta say, this experience is absolutely incredible. It really feels like a 5-star luxury all-inclusive resort. But you're in the Calgary Airport. Not a place that really makes me think of luxury. On the menu itself, there's a ton of small plates to start and then a few main course options. Though I will say, even the main course options are small, but you can order as much as you like. I assume as long as you keep eating the food, they'll keep making the food for you. I have heard some rumblings that they will limit the amount of cocktails you can order. I think the most I've ever done is 3, and that's honestly all I needed. If you're going to this lounge, I would strongly recommend a specialty cocktail. They really do these up well. If you want a classic cocktail, they have a section for that, where you can scroll through all the main liquors, and then say you want a bourbon cocktail, you press add, and you can see the options that they have there for you. Now it's time to say goodbye to the lounge and head over to our departure gate. I am so full, but this ended up being a good thing. The food on the plane is edible, but the portions are small and it's not nearly as good as the quality in the lounge. Also, if you want to get anywhere quickly in the Calgary Airport, it's much faster to walk, especially when you can edit yourself to walk at 3 times speed. The trams are a lot of fun though, they're just like little baby trains. We made it back to the international terminal and just have a moment to appreciate that it is really beautifully done. You can tell that Calgary International is a huge hub for business because they have not 1, but 3 Chili's. We made it to the gate just in time for boarding to start. It does get quite busy in this area as flights to Dublin and Paris were boarding both at the same time, and the gates are right next to each other, so make sure you double check where you're going. Yep, that looks right. And now it's time to board. It is a bit of a jaunt to get to the plane. You can actually see people going to Paris on the left there. There are 2 bridges to get onto the plane, and if you're flying business or premium economy, you would go to the left. On the right here you can see the second loading bridge, and on the left you can see the beautiful Boeing 787 Dreamliner taking us to Dublin tonight. Alright, let's get on board and check out this incredible lie-flat pod. We're in seats 3 and 4K, so to get there we pass through the business class galley and turn right into paradise. It really is stunning in this cabin. At our seat waiting for us is our pillow and blanket, amenity kit, and menu. Just moments after sitting down, we are greeted by our wonderful flight attendant and offered some sparkling wine. Really had to think hard about this one, but we decided to say yes. The reverse herringbone layout is a very popular choice these days for business class, and for good reason. It offers incredible privacy and space. though your boy has already filled up pretty much every inch of space available. As the business class cabin is small, service is exceptionally fast. Here's the menu for tonight's flight. Your small plate is basically your appetizer and your large plate is your main course. Similarly, the breakfast bowl functions as a sort of breakfast appetizer. Then you have a choice of 2 different breakfast sandwiches. We'll take a look at the slightly disappointing food soon, but let's do a seat tour. The seats themselves are as beautiful as they are comfortable. To your left you have an armrest and storage compartment that can go down or up depending on if you want to lay flat or just recline. But wait, there's more. On the inside you'll find a bottle of water and your noise cancelling headphones. These are just for use in flight but really do get the job done and cancel the noise well. And if you turn to the right you have a ton of storage options. This first one has a power outlet, a USB charger, your headphone jack, and the in-flight entertainment controller that pops out on a string. You can use that to control the screen if you don't want to use the touchscreen. To the right you have a second compartment. I'm just using this to store my amenity kit, and it also has a mirror. Moving further to the right there's a little shelf with the flight safety information and a barf bag. And to the right of that you have your reading light. You can actually turn it on by just pushing it in and out. Okay, let's turn back and play with our seat controls. So you tap the screen to turn it on, and then tap again to see the actual controls. You can control the reading and display light right from the control panel. When it comes to moving the seat itself, you have these arrows that can move one specific portion of the seat, or there are preset options on the right side of the screen if you just want to head in the direction of sitting upright or lying flat. Finally, the power button in the top left turns the screen off. Your tray table starts off in shelf mode but has a latch underneath that can be used to pull it towards you. It also flips up to become a pretty sizable table. It also slides up so you can customize exactly where you want it. Let's take a look underneath the seat. There's another storage compartment area which I just kind of used for garbage. The legroom itself is amazing. It does get smaller the further in you go, so you might have to be creative with your foot placement or just kick your shoes off. But you are not getting a better view of my little piggies for free. I'm 6'5" and push the limits on how comfortably you could lie flat on your back. I basically just fit. Let's get ready for takeoff. It's a beautiful fall day in Calgary, but unfortunately the sun is setting quite fast. By the time the plane is fully boarding, it's pretty much dark out. A fun thing about WestJet's Dreamliners is they have a safety video.
Welcome on board WestJet. Bienvenue à bord de WestJet. We would appreciate your attention during the safety video, as it outlines the safety features for this aircraft.
This is a bit of a novelty as most of WestJet's planes don't have an in-flight entertainment screen, and so they don't show this video. With our safety secured, it's time for takeoff and an in-flight entertainment tour. I believe it's crucial to always check the flight map first. Thanks to the curvature of the Earth, our flight route is taking us over Nunavut, Greenland, and very close to Iceland. The screen itself is 18.5 inches, and it definitely feels more like a TV than a computer or iPad screen. They had a few new movies to pick from, though the collection wasn't super deep. You got some options for games too if that's your thing. I think my favorite part was this section on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It gives you fun facts like there are 9 lavatories on board. It also gives you a detailed seat map so you can see the small business class and premium economy cabins up front, and then lots of economy seats in a 3-3-3 layout. Not long after we were in the air, dinner service started with a warm towel. Everyone got these packaged cashews and I chose to get a red wine. Shortly after, dinner was served all on one tray. Now, to be served any food at all on a plane these days is a luxury, though you are paying for this privilege. If you ordered a normal 3-course meal at any sit-down restaurant, this would be considered a very small portion. The metal cutlery is very nice and WestJet branded, and the plate and tray perfectly match the cabin interior. The food on the plane itself really stood out as one thing lacking on this experience. I still gobbled it up, but yeah, do your main eating in the lounge beforehand rather than on the plane itself. Let's do a quick little business class bathroom tour before I go to sleep. I can actually stand up straight into this bathroom, which is not usual. The door had this WestJet logo inspired print on it, which I thought was kind of cool. Otherwise, it's your pretty standard bathroom though. They did have some Rocky Mountain soap products to try, who also did the amenity kit, but I think we might have got bamboozled there. This is an overnight flight, so it's time to try and get a couple hours of sleep. I can tell I'm a little delirious at this point because this is the nighttime sign-off I went with. The peace sign and the duck lips. What an idiot. I get a very comfortable but not very restful sleep, and then breakfast service starts about an hour and a half before arrival. Our flight attendant immediately notices I'm awake and asks me if I'd like a coffee, and the answer is God, yes. They even had oat milk, which I was pleasantly surprised by. You can see I had some enthusiasm and excitement before I took a sip of the coffee. I didn't exactly love it, but it was good to have some caffeine. After that, breakfast was served pretty quickly, and again, it's just a little breakfast. The breakfast sandwich with bacon was perfectly good, and you can see the little breakfast bowl on the right there. I'd say the breakfast sandwich was equivalent to your standard McMuffin or Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich. Now for a peek inside the amenity kit, and I'm pretty sure this is the premium economy amenity kit, and for scale there, it's not very big. Here are the full contents. So you got the kit itself, an eye mask, then we got a stick of lip balm, a coupon for some free cream, but you gotta pay for shipping, then some earplugs and socks. So here it is all together. For comparison, This is what they advertise on the website, which is definitely not what we got. Okay, let's talk about how much this flight actually cost. So for some background, I've had the WestJet RBC MasterCard for quite a while now, and I have accumulated a ton of WestJet dollars. So that helped put me over the edge on booking these tickets. WestJet does have one really nice policy when booking business class. You can book a one-way fare for a reasonable price. Most other airlines, including Air Canada, will not let you do that. You have to book a round-trip itinerary to get a reasonable price. And even then, of course, it's still ridiculously expensive. Alright, so I paid $740.81 in cash. I also used $657 WestJet dollars. So the total cost of this flight was $1,397.81. If you would have booked this in cash, it would have been slightly more expensive, as I used what's called a member's exclusive fare. Now, one thing I didn't note is this cost actually also included my business class flight to Calgary. I'll be doing another video about this soon, so subscribe if you want to see that. If you're a Canadian interested in super cheap flights, I actually read an email with a bunch of different flight deals for Canadians. You can just go to thecanadianjetsetter.com and there's a spot to put in your email right near the top of the page. I featured these one-way business class deals on WestJet like 6 months ago. As we descend into a beautiful day in Dublin, I wonder, was this worth it? The ticket cost about 3 times the price of an economy seat, and things weren't absolutely perfect. The food on the plane was disappointing, but please don't shed a tear for me, it was an absolutely exceptional experience. The seat itself gives you way more than 3 times the room of a regular economy seat. The service was so personal and friendly, and the WestJet Elevation Lounge was a spiritual experience for me. I didn't really want to leave. The flight went by so fast. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing if you want to see more. There's lots more adventures to come.